There we go. Okay, so welcome back, guys. This is Icy Cup Real Coon here with part 2 of Sheth versus QXC on Metalopolis. We've seen QXC open up with this interesting Ghost Hellion build. Hasn't really mixed in the Marauders as we usually see him. He is building a second Ghost Academy somewhere. Hopefully he'll actually find it this time. There it is. So he will be able to start making more nukes, which is really the only reason to build the second Ghost Academy. He has one nuke already, but it looks like he wants to get the second one, so he can probably nuke in two different places at the same time and make it harder for Sheth to isolate where it is and maybe get some drone kills. So Sheth is aggressively moving to Hive, and hopefully he doesn't go to Ultras, because Ultras versus Snipe is bad news. 45 damage ignoring armor several times onto Ultras. Nice EMP, hits every single Infestor, and then snipes down the Infestor as well. That was an incredible EMP right there onto every single Infestor of Sheth, forcing him to back up immediately. He is going to start researching that second nuke. Does not have a cloak. Might start pumping that out on the other Ghost Academy, as that would be rather helpful for these nukes. But Sheth probably just going to have to pull back and wait for this Hive. I hope he does not go for Ultras, because shotgun snipes take Ultras down pretty quickly. And now you see QXC has gotten these Marauders on the field researching concussive shells and Stimpack. So he has this really nice unit composition of Hellions, Ghosts, and Marauders. Going to be able to snipe the Roaches and Mutas, or possibly Ultras. Marauders will be able to tie up the Roaches, and the Hellions will just melt Zerglings. So just very, very well-rounded unit mix here. Will require a good amount of micro, but QXC is a pretty talented player. He should be able to handle that. But it does look like Sheth is going for Broodlords instead of Ultralisks. Pretty good decision there, as it will force QXC to start making Vikings. As none of those forces, Snipe really doesn't do too well against Broodlords. It's just the range difference is too big, and he'll be able to drop a lot of Broodlings onto your Ghost and mess up their pathing. So he is going to start making Planetary Fortress here at the high yield, pretty much at the same time that Sheth starts making his base at the high yield. So these two are synchronized, expanding quite a bit here. And both players still just sitting back a little bit, macroing up. If we look at the resource tab, we'll see that the army difference is actually pretty close together. Sheth is floating a lot more resources to start making a ton of Broodlords once this Greater Spire finishes. Excuse me, I keep hiccuping. If we look at the income, Sheth is slightly ahead in minerals and gas, surprisingly enough. And Burrowed Infestor moves in and just fungal growths a bunch of the Ghosts to soften them up a bit. So nice move there by Sheth, and he was able to get the Infestor away safely. As here we go, there's going to be a nuke on the high yields. It's going to force him to have to pull all these drones off. He hasn't seen it yet. Sheth, oh my god, he's going to kill all of those drones because he didn't notice it. Every single drone at the high yield goes down there. Look at that just pile of burning drone corpses. Excellent job there by QXC. I'm not sure why Sheth did not notice that at all. He's going to start researching Cloak, probably make another nuke. And that's going to hurt Sheth pretty badly, as his income has dropped pretty severely after that. EMP up on the cliff, assuming that there was an Infestor up there, but there was not. Listen to all the snipes going off. Roaches and Broodlords actually go down to the snipes, surprisingly enough. There were not enough Broodlords out on the field, but there are a couple more incoming to help clean this up. The Broodlords probably force QXC to back off, though he might be able to take this third base with him. Gonna come in here, take down this Queen, and launch a nuke back at the high yield again. Gonna hit these Roaches and Queen, do a bit of damage to this hatchery. So nuke is going to land. Here we go. Kills all those forces. Drops that hatchery to low health. He is going to suicide this army in order to kill that hatchery. And this hatchery is really low health. Will only take a few more hits to actually kill it. And you know, QXC's looking pretty good now as he's nuked Sheth successfully twice. A little bit surprising. Rebuilding a bunch of Ghosts. Has a lot of Ghosts on the field. Really needs to get the gas up and running at his high yield though, as he's expanding to 9 o'clock as well. If he can get one more nuke or even just run a couple of Marauders in here, he will be able to power down this hatchery at the high yield. It's a bunch of drones that had run away from the bottom right corner, just hanging out at 6 o'clock. I'm not sure why they're idle though. There we go. He's going to get those back in active. Broodlord's moving in on the high yield, but a bunch of snipes going off on them. Takes out 1, 2. He cloaks. They're still killing him. I'm not sure how. There we go. There was not an Overseer in the area, but he does kill all of those Broodlords with the Ghost, surprisingly enough, because there was no Overseer in the area. Nice effective use of the Cloak plus Snipe combination there by QXC. And now Sheth is switching into Ultras, which I don't think is going to work out too well for him against Mass Snipe. So QXC looking really good in this game. He has another nuke ready to go, so we'll have to see if he tries to launch that on the high yield once more. More Broodlords moving into the base here, going to put some pressure on him. There aren't any tanks here, so it's just Broodlings are landing and killing the SCVs, and then the Planetary Fortress kills the Broodling immediately. Why are the ghosts dying, though? Okay, I guess the Broodling is just killing them. He did manage to get that Broodlord out of range, but it does sneak back into range just barely, so he was able to snipe it very effectively. Second nuke is being researched. He's going to come up onto this high yield tower and take down that other Broodlord with those snipes. So good job here. It looks like there's going to be another nuke onto this hatchery. This hatchery is going to go down. Sheth is not paying attention. He could lose the Broodlords as well. Oh my god, he needs to cancel those and fly them out. There goes the Broodlords, couple of drones as well. Does not react in time. The hatchery goes down and all of the units in the area as well. So QXC getting some great nukes off, doing a ton of damage each time, killing a lot of drones. Lost 3 Broodlords that were in production there as well. Pretty big hit there to Sheth. He does have several Vikings out on the field and a couple of Medivacs in support as well. So QXC's army is very well rounded at this point. It's going to be able to deal with pretty much anything that Sheth throws at him. Certainly he's going to move into his third base, but there's a Planetary Fortress here and a second Planetary Fortress in progress. LOL. Ultras are now being produced. Armor is almost done. There's only 2 Ultras on the field right now because he's lost a lot of gas from these Broodlords. Cannot afford to really pump these Ultras out full time. And I really got to say that QXC is looking really good in this game. Bunch of snipes going off on this force. He cloaks. There's no Overseer in the area. Sheth really needs to make more than 1 Overseer at a time, but he is short on gas. There's a double nuke on the hatchery, which is not going to be enough to kill it, but it will drop it very, very low. And Overseer finishes right in time. Do the nukes actually fall? No, they were really close to landing when the Overseer finished there. So he does barely save that hatchery, but he does get the ghosts away, snipes one of those Ultras with that shotgun snipe action there. And now he's moving in with a pretty big push, and Sheth doesn't have a whole lot to stop this except for a single Ultra and a few more that are on the way. So if he gets some good snipes off, he's going to have a really hard time holding off this push. Here he comes, Ultra coming in, not even sniping them. He doesn't really need to, not in a dangerous enough position. Takes out that hatchery once again. QXC looks like he's just in a really dominant position in this game as he move in on the army. Last big engagement, it looks like snipes going off on the Ultras left and right, and they go down very quickly. Look at how quickly those Ultralists died to the Marauders and the snipes. And now QXC is just going to push in on the main and end it. So well played game there by QXC. I'm not sure why Sheth didn't see those nukes. He didn't react to really any of them. Seems a little bit atypical for Sheth, but make sure you do tune in to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/rootgaming, one word, and root-gaming.com. Register on our forums, talk to our players, and just join our community. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.